Are we on the 8?
Ruh-roh. So today we're going to be working on this little hot rod. This is that 2-seat mid-engine car. This thing used to be Volkswagen powered, and I shoehorned a J35 in there. It's really close. Barely fit, but we made it work. This has got a Megasand transmission in it. Not a lot of support for this transmission, so if something goes wrong, parts are really, really hard to find for that thing. We're going to go ahead and put in a Mendeola 2D. We're going to squeeze that thing in there, and then when that's done, we're going to add a turbo to this car. So probably going to just ditch those mufflers and then extend the tubing up and probably sit the turbo about right here. Got quite a bit of work to do on this one. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to get this transmission pulled out. Shouldn't take very long to get the tranny out. And then start figuring out how to get the new one in there. We'll get it in, get it bolted up, and see where we're at axle length-wise, and get rid of all these mounts back here and figure all that out. So you guys stick around while we get this thing taken apart. All right, so we're going to start by pulling the axles out. These take a 3/8 12-point. You guys want to make sure that your 12-point socket is in good condition. When these things, you use them so much, the little teeth start to wear out and they will end up stripping your volts. So, throw the impact on there. Sorry about that, guys. There we go. One CV down. We're just going to pull this out of the way, sit it over there. That way we can get the transmission out. I'm going to go over here and do the other side. Last two. Sometimes you got to persuade them off. There we go. Sit this one out of the way. That should be clear. We can get the bolts out now. So we're going to pull the shift linkage out, pull out the starter, and then cut this mount off. We're going to go ahead and flush this mount off right down here at the bottom, get rid of it. We'll unbolt the top mount, slide this thing out, and then we'll start putting the Mendeola in, see where we're at. All right, so this thing was still utilizing a factory Volkswagen starter. Little chrome jobby here. Not even a self-supporting automatic starter. This was still using a 5-speed starter. The bushing must be pretty good in the trans there. So this ain't gonna do it for the new swap. The new starter is gonna go up on top there. So, all right, we're gonna get the shift cables off and then get this thing unbolted and get her pulled out. Whoever designed this car made this mount back here solid. And as you can see, it's been cut off and re-welded a couple of times. I think I even re-welded it once when I did the motor. So see, we had to cut it off here, and so yeah, we're gonna cut it off again. We're gonna redo the whole back half of this anyways. I think that transmission is gonna stick out a little further, so this mount won't need anything anyway. So we're gonna go ahead and get the Sawzall here. We're gonna get to cutting. So there, we got it cut off. We'll go ahead and take the flat wheel and we're going to grind this flat. We're not going to take this bar out. And we may use it, we may come off of here, but as you can see, when they built this chassis, they put two pieces of tube together right here. For me, that's probably not the way I would have done it. I would have slipped them in back here and made this one bend, but you know, it is what it is. They used what they had, I guess. You know, who knows? I don't know what they did here, but anyhow, we're gonna leave this bar in here to support this area because it's welded here, and I don't think there's a plug in there either. So anyhow, we're gonna get this ground down, and we're gonna get tranny out first, and then we'll get it all ground down. So here we go, guys. Timeline, we've been wrenching away. We got all the mounts to the transmission out. We're just about to slide it out, and my old Pittsburgh gave up the ghost. It doesn't work so hot. So I'm gonna use my desert jack. This is my JC Whips and Shite jack. If you guys need a high lift jack for the desert, check out his website. I think it's, there you go, see if you guys can see that. There's his website, check it out. Pretty cool. These things will lift up a Razor, no problem. They lift up my big sand car with ease. So anyways, we're gonna put the jack underneath this thing, and we're gonna start trying to finagle this thing out of here. Here we go. All right, we got it pulled out. I had forgotten what clutch I put in this car and what it had in it. It's got a stage 3, but it's only a 200 millimeter, which is fine. It should be no problem. The issue we have at this point is the clutch disc. You can see the splines on that disc, and the splines on the old transmission are factory VW style. And this one, the new transmission, is like a Porsche G50 input shaft. So that clutch disc is not going to work, and I don't have another one here. We'll have to pick one up tomorrow. But we're going to go ahead and pull that clutch out, and we're going to mate this transmission up and start finishing up the fab work, and we can just pull it back out when we get the clutch and the throttle bearing on. So we're going to keep moving forward, get this thing put up in there. All right, so as you can see, the Mendeola transmission is significantly bigger than the Megasand / bus box thing. So it fits. We got plenty of room. Looks like the old shifter bracket's even gonna fit. We're gonna run that back up here and bolt it in. The shifter will work just as it did before, which is really cool. Don't have to change the cables. We do need to get a new starter, and they make a Honda style starter for this that goes right there, that spaces the starter back to clear the water neck. It looks like we got plenty of room for that. The slave cylinder will go right back on. That looks good. As for mounting, I'm gonna just put a plate here right off this back bar. After we grind this down, we'll put one here, and then there's a spot right there where the old transmission was bolted up. I'm gonna level that out and then just drill 4 holes through the steel on the other side of that, and this thing will bolt right in. So really minimal fabrication work to get this thing in here. The only thing is, as you can see, the axles are a wee bit short. So we're gonna have to do new axles, which is no big deal. His CVs are due for a service anyway. We'll get them cleaned out, get new axles in there, And yeah, this should be pretty straightforward. So anyways, yeah, that's it, man. Tranny's in. We're going to continue on with the fab work and getting this thing bolted in, and keep going. So we got the 2D in. We got it set in there, bolted up. I need to go to the off-road place tomorrow and pick up a cradle mount. They make a cradle mount that's just 3/16 steel plate that cradles underneath there to those bolt holes, and then it'll come down and weld right here. So I'm gonna go pick one of those up rather than make something, just because it's really easy. It's like 25 bucks. So we'll set that up in there, get it bolted up, and then weld it in. And the back mount will be done. And then as for the front mount up here, we should make some spacers to go between there and drill the holes, and we can bolt right into that cradle. So that'll work out good, and then we'll measure for the axles tomorrow. So that's going to do it for today's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you smash that subscribe button, that like, give us a thumbs up, and make sure you share this with your friends if you like what you're seeing. Drop me a comment. I always respond, and we'll see you guys next time.